At Sierra, discover top workout gear at incredible prices, which might lead to another discovery. Your headphones haven't been connected this whole time. Awkward. Discover top brands at unexpectedly low prices. Sierra, let's get moving.
This episode is brought to you by FX's The Beauty Official Podcast. Join host Evan Ross Katz on the official podcast for FX's hottest new series, The Beauty, taking you behind the scenes with its amazing stars as they discuss the show's most jaw-dropping moments. Featuring Evan Peters, Anthony Ramos, Jeremy Pope, Ashton Kutcher, Rebecca Hall, Bella Hadid, Meghan Trainor, Isabella Rossellini, Jessica Alexander, and Ari Grainer. Search FX's The Beauty wherever you listen to podcasts.
The world moves fast. Your workday, even faster. Pitching products, drafting reports, analyzing data. Microsoft 365 Copilot is your AI assistant for work. Built into Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and other Microsoft 365 apps you use. Helping you quickly write, analyze, create, and summarize. So you can cut through clutter and clear a path to your best work. Learn more at Microsoft.com/M365 Copilot.
Progressive is America's #1 motorcycle insurer, so we understand motorcycles. No, really, we have a bike translator.
Okay, so this bike says she is struggling with her place in the motorcycle community. Well, she says she hasn't peaked yet, but she's having a little epiphany, okay? Oh, that maybe life itself is the peak. Interesting. In my experience, I found that... Oh, so I just translate. Not allowed to have opinions. Got it.
Quote with Progressive and see if you could save with America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
This is Jay Scott, and you are listening to The Hook, the Ultimate Rock Community Podcast. Hope everyone's having a fantastic day. Welcome to the very first Classic Album Spotlight, where we'll be showcasing classic albums from the past, the albums that have stood the test of time. And that really is what defines a classic, right? Whether it's a song or album, a song that sounded great back in the day and it still sounds awesome today, still sends the chills up your spine, and brings you back to all the memories associated with the song or album. The album that we are going to start off with is one that is very important to me. All of you know that have listened to the very first episode understand that this album is what hooked me on rock and roll, and that is Journey's Escape, released in 1981. I was about 6 or 7 when I first heard this. As I explained in the first episode, when my brother dropped the needle on the album, I was hooked. It connected me to my grandfather's piano playing, which was really the first experience in music that I had. And hearing the first song, Don't Stop Believin', with the piano intro by Jonathan Cain, set me on a rock and roll journey for the rest of my life. Prior to this album, Journey had a lot of momentum. They were coming off their biggest album at the time, which was Departure, that featured the hit Any Way You Want It. They recorded a live album, Captured, that was also successful, but they were also faced with a little bit of turmoil in that Gregg Rolie decided to leave the band after the Departure tour. In fact, the studio song that is on the live album, The Party's Over, does not even feature Gregg Rolie. It features Stevie Roseman on the piano and keyboards. So they were looking for a replacement for Gregg Rolie. They wanted to find a good fit. Found Jonathan Cain, who was the keyboard player, piano player for the Babies, who had toured with Journey previously. And the songwriting on Escape just completely evolved into something completely different. 4 massive hits on this record. Don't Stop Believin', Who's Crying Now, Still They Ride, Open Arms. All were in the top 20 Billboard. The biggest hit of that record was Open Arms, going to number 2. If anyone grew up during that time and remembers, that really was the beginning of the power ballad era. Don't Stop Believin' was a big hit, but Don't Stop Believin' really didn't become the iconic classic it is today until years later, namely because of the placement of the song in the huge television series The Sopranos. I mean, the last scene in what was an iconic TV show on HBO. Since then, sports teams have used that song to get their fans going during games. They've used it during playoff runs, championship runs, namely the San Francisco Giants, namely the Chicago White Sox. It is now the biggest song from the album Escape. But back in the day, back in the 80s, Open Arms clearly was the favorite. Who's Crying Now? Another big hit with a real big R&B feel. Really played to Steve Perry's influence of Sam Cooke. A great guitar outro from Neil Schon. And then Still They Ride, which was another great song from that album. 4 huge hits. Not many albums during that period of the early 80s can say that. But what makes this album an absolute classic is the depth of the album. Stone in Love, Keep on Running, the other 2 songs from the first side. Stone in Love, my favorite song on the record, talks about memories of summer, hanging out with your friends or hanging out with a girl or a guy. Absolute killer track. Neil Schon smokes on that song. Keep on Running, an absolute rocker. In between Who's Crying Now, Still They Ride, helps the album take off on side 1. Interesting note, if you ever want to hear a great cover song, listen to Anthrax's Keep on Running. One of the most underrated vocalists in rock history, Joey Belladonna, does a tremendous job singing that song. There are also some live videos on YouTube that show Joey Belladonna singing other Journey songs. Incredible. But getting back to the record, we go to side 2. Of course, it ends with Open Arms, the big hit. But you have Escape and Lay It Down to start the record off on side 2. And they are smoking songs. Neil Schon is on fire on both of them. In fact, you could argue what song has the best riff between Stone in Love, Keep on Running, Escape, and Lay It Down. Lay It Down, Steve Perry's vocals are just out of this world. Then we go to Dead or Alive, probably my least favorite song on the album. It never really connected with me. And then off to Mother Father, which is another fan favorite, another killer guitar track, and a perfect song to have on a record right before the power ballad in Open Arms. All in all, this album is a monster. You should have this in your collection if you are a music fan. If you've never heard it, revisit it. If you didn't like it back when it first came out, revisit the record, because sometimes your like and dislike of music is all about timing. You may be in a completely different place right now, and you may enjoy this record. And I know Don't Stop Believin' is way overplayed, but I still love it. I still get the chills every time I hear it. One other note about this record is the reception by critics. Now, this is one of the biggest albums of all time, probably Journey's biggest and best record of all time. We can have that discussion if you think another album such as Frontiers or Infinity Evolution, Raised on Radio, whatever. But in terms of album sales, outside the Journey's Greatest Hits compilation, this is their biggest record. But this was not received well by critics. Not surprised. Critics have never understood rock and never understood what the fans like. Rolling Stone, when this album came out, gave this record 1 star. When they revisited the record several years later, they gave it 2.5. Just shows how clueless these critics can be. Ultimately, the fan is always the ultimate critic, and you guys have told people what you think of this by the album sales and by the continued great reception of this record. Once again, I'm Jay Scott, and you are listening to The Hook. Thank you very much for listening to the Classic Album Spotlight. Hope you all have a great day, and we'll talk again soon.
This week on RVER, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
That new doctor is drop dead gorgeous.
Please, he's just another Ivy League educated surgeon with good hair.
No, he's different.
Nurses, we got a Class C motorhome with a detached driver's side mirror. Meet me in the OR. Stat.
Right away, doctor.
No, she's on break. I'll handle this one.
Oh, you conniving little...
When your RV really needs saving, Progressive has you covered. See if you could save with a leader in RV insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Covered subject to policy terms.
How many discounts does USAA Auto Insurance offer? Too many to say here. Multi-vehicle discount, safe driver discount, new vehicle discount, storage discount, legacy.
How many discounts will you stack up? Tap the banner or visit USAA.com/auto discounts. Restrictions apply.
Reggie, I just sold my car online.
Let's go, Grandpa. Wait, you did?
Yep, on Carvana. Just put in the license plate, answered a few questions, got an offer in minutes. Easier than setting up that new digital picture frame.
You don't say.
Yeah, they're even picking it up tomorrow. Talk about fast.
Wow, way to go. So, about that picture frame.
Forget about it. Until Carvana makes one, I'm not interested.
Car selling made easy. On
Carvana.
Pickup fees may apply.
Starting a business can seem like a daunting task, unless you have a partner like Shopify. They have the tools you need to start and grow your business. From designing a website to marketing to selling and beyond, Shopify can help with everything you need. There's a reason millions of companies like Mattel, Heinz, and Allbirds continue to trust and use them. With Shopify on your side, turn your big business idea into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.